My name is Marianne. I'm the Managing Director of Engineers Without Borders Norway, and a very warm welcome to all of you, and especially to our partner Field Ready Turkey, that we will hear from shortly about the very impressive work that they've been doing to help those affected by the devastating earthquake that struck southeast Turkey and northwest Syria 6 months ago today. And obviously, initially, we were very happy that our colleagues were okay in this big catastrophe. More than 50,000 people died altogether. I will just give you a very, very brief background. So Engineers Without Borders Norway, we partnered with Field Ready Turkey in 2021 on our Waste for Warmth project. This is a consortium humanitarian innovation project where we've been working together to develop and to test a new approach to winter insulation of shelters for displaced people, mainly targeting northwest Syria. In 2021, we also established a research and development hub in Gaziantep in Turkey that has been run and managed by Field Ready Turkey. And we've had the opportunity to develop and test various recycled plastic insulation products for different kinds of shelters. And also along the way, we have incorporated relevant Engineers Without Borders volunteer engineering assignments. In the beginning of 2023, the plan was for Field Ready Turkey to start recycling 15 tons of plastic waste and make it into floor tiles that were to be installed in shelters for displaced people in northwest Syria. And then on the 6th of February, the earthquake struck, and that changed the situation dramatically. As you may know, in Engineers Without Borders Norway, we normally work with longer-term development projects and not directly with emergency aid for a various number of reasons. However, through our close collaboration with Field Ready Turkey over years, we now had a partner on the ground with hands-on engineers and with teams both on the Turkish side and in northwest Syria. And this was in a situation where very few organizations could respond to the disaster directly and in a proper way. So for us, it was an easy decision to support Field Ready Turkey in any way that we could. And I believe that this is the first time that we have actually fundraised for an emergency response in Engineers Without Borders Norway. So with the financial support from a fantastic engineering fundraising effort, or ingeniørdugnad, as we call it here in Norway, the engineers in Field Ready Turkey were able to contribute directly, both in the acute emergency phase and not least also with repair of critical infrastructure. And on behalf of EVB and Field Ready Turkey, I would like to extend a warm thank you to the businesses and to every person that donated, and also to our supportive project donors, Innovation Norway and Norwegian Retailers Environment Fund. And I'd also like to add that we are extremely grateful that we could contribute to Field Ready Turkey's earthquake response. We are joined today by Field Ready team of Al-Muthanna, the project coordinator, Aya, liaison and administration coordinator. And now I have the great pleasure of giving the word to Imad, who is the director of Field Ready Turkey.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Thank you for this very kind introduction, and thank you for inviting us. This is really a nice opportunity for us. I would really extend my thanks to all the donors. We might not know you, appreciate all the efforts that you have been providing to all the affected people. Like with your support, we could do what I'm going to present today. So really big thank you. Thanks for all the colleagues of Engineers Without Borders and for all the donors. I will share my screen. Maybe I can start my presentation. So as Marianne mentioned, we are Field Ready Turkey. We are a group of engineers, humanitarian aid, and development sectors experts. We've been working in Northwest Syria and in Turkey since 2016. I'm Syrian. Our teams are like between among of us are Syrians and some Turkish people. Mainly, we are working in these two areas, and we've started like mainly we are focusing about innovation. We are trying to find innovative solutions for the humanitarian challenges in the area. We established the first small maker space in Gaziantep, and we could benefit the engineering students so they can do some prototypes, they can do some businesses, and we benefited number of entrepreneurs in both northern Syria and in Turkey. Using this innovation center, this maker space, which included some of the high-tech technology tools in addition to traditional tools. The main sectors that we are working on are the early recovery, the livelihoods, and the health, in addition to the shelter. And we are member of these clusters, which are led by some UN agencies. Like, for example, the early recovery and livelihoods is led by the UNDP. The health cluster is led by the WHO, the World Health Organization, and the shelter is led by the IOM. We are focusing on three main areas. We do bottom-up innovation, which means that we are like investing in the engineers and the human resources who are available locally. We empower them, and then we benefit from their experiences so we can solve the challenges locally. We focus on localization, so we try to do everything locally. We use the human resources locally, and we use the other resources from the place where we are working. So we try to find local solutions. We also focus on social entrepreneurship. We focus on empowering the community so they can solve the challenges they are facing by themselves. Now, the impact of this is that we are providing our services in a better way, faster way, cheaper way. So these are the three also words that we are like trying to focus on, that always our work is better, faster, and cheaper. Um, Now, as Marianne mentioned, like we are partner with the field with Engineers Without Borders since 2021. We've started the initiative of the engineers of the Waste for Warmth. We did many like researches and we did many work here. We have in Gaziantep here in Turkey, in Southeast Turkey, we have the Innovation Hub, which we have established together, and we have really served many opportunities. Like we try to do, like we worked on many products that are helping the refugees and the internal displaced people to be in a better life situation, in improving their shelter type, in making job opportunities for them, and also to protect the environment and to save the environment by recycling the plastic waste. Now, these are some photos, if you can see my screen, a number of the colleagues in Engineers Without Borders who visited us and helped us here in Gaziantep, like through training and through some technical support. We had many plans, really, like, and we started many work, but unfortunately, February 6th, 2023, like brought about a lot of sadness and caused to change many of our plans. It was really a nightmare. We felt like we are in the like day after, but we tried our best. Like this photo is for my colleague Aya in Gaziantep. This is in the second day of the earthquake, where we have started to see what we can do. So the first night after the earthquake, some of us stayed in our cars on the street. Some of us found some temporary shelters in the mosques, in the community centers, in the parks. So I took this photo at night, which is like some urban area. So it's not like village. So this is where everyone like left their houses and stayed in some squares, some empty squares. It was really cold in that period. So here we were trying to find some way to warm ourselves. No one dare to be back to his house, to their houses, really afraid of the aftershocks. So we prefer to stay in the street rather than going back to our homes. We felt lost, and especially that we spent like many years really helping the people. In that night, we felt that we are alone, like we are not able to support ourselves, and we are not able to support the people with the most affected people. Like even if we are somehow in better health situation, but we can see how in around us, people with disabilities, old men, old women, some families who are really in need, but we couldn't support them. Now, this is the hope message that came from Nima. Nima is from Engineers Without Borders, of course, maybe everyone knows. Now we wish him the best health now. We wish him the quick recovery. Um, this message, if you see that it was in the first day, the 6th February. So it really made the difference for us. Like he said, "Hi, Nima is here. Are you okay?" Like he's asking about us. Like this is the first time we communicate through messages. Like we usually communicate during meetings and through over emails. But you see how emergent, how urgent was this for him. Like I told him that we are okay, we are good, we are still in the like here, but the situation is still bad. We are still in the street. I thought that like he's nice person asking about us, but directly like he left me for 2 hours, then he couldn't stay like without providing any support. Again, he sent me another message after maybe 2 hours, like please, I just want to know you to know that we are here to support with what we can. And if there is anything concrete that you need and your organization can do to support the situation, then we can try to do some fundraising for that if you want us to do. Of course, like this was really helped us a lot. It gives us like really hope. It gives us like that, yes, we can do something. Like even the situation is very bad, but we have some people who care about us, who are ready to support. Engineers Without Borders Norway were really the first supporters. They established this communication group and hotline on WhatsApp with us, initiating the emergency response planning. So this was really appreciated. And I contacted the teams, I contacted our teams members, and I told them that, hey, we can do something. Really, we can help. So just we need to be strong. Be strong. We have to be ready. The second day is 7th of February. We were ready for the field. We become really stronger. We become ready to support the people in need. 60 members here in Turkey in Gaziantep, 40 members in northern Syria, in addition to 6 volunteers, were ready to start the work. This photo is from my visit to one of the this is a mosque actually, together with the Turkish Red Crescent. So we started some kind of coordination, collaboration, so we don't so we can make sure that the efforts are not duplicated. Turkish Red Crescent and what is called AFAD, which is the Emergency Directorate, were the main actors, the first responders. So we directly responded with them. We put some quick methodology, a comprehensive one, We don't want to do duplication of the work. We want really to reach to the people who are not still served, not still supported. We don't want also to be lost, like to be like doing some work but not at least documented, so we can like later get back to with some documents, how we spent this, how we did that. So we try to be like a little bit organized, though the situation were really like in that, if I can mention, like during that period, in every day, we faced many aftershocks. So you can feel like you are whenever you are, so you feel always the earth is moving under your knees. So we put this methodology, the rapid needs assessment, to identify the immediate and critical needs. This was really quick. Collaboration with the local authorities. I mentioned number of like the Turkish Red Crescent, the municipality, and the AFAD, which is the disaster management body in Turkey. We collaborated with them to ensure that efficient access to affected areas. You know that sometimes even they don't allow the aid workers to go to support if they are not like recognized, and if they are not like if they are not coordinated. So we did that very quickly. They helped a lot in this. Started coordination together with our field teams. Everyone, what can they support? This person has his car. This person can do some collaboration, some coordination. So we distributed the tasks between each other, and then we start the work. And really, what we can say, the result was organized work. We received many, we received really thanks from the local authorities themselves. And we feel that we could do something in this very short time. As Marianne mentioned, really many thanks for this emergency support and for the relief support. As Field Ready Turkey, we don't usually also do emergency response. We don't do distribution, relief aid distribution. We focus usually on the innovation. But as the human is our focus, as we are working as a human-centered with a human-centered approach, so the first thing that helps the people was our that to start working on some distribution for some needed things. The weather was really cold, so we started with securing some heavy blankets. So we could purchase them, we could distribute them. This was in collaboration again with the local authorities. We felt with the people, the most affected and the most vulnerable people were the people with disabilities who had to leave their houses and to leave everything, not and with also recommendation from the local authorities not to be back to their houses in this period until they are examined, until they know what is the situation of these buildings are. So they left everything. So we could again, with the support, to purchase number of wheelchairs, number of electric wheelchairs for some of them, and even mobile toilets, or mobile WCs. So we could again like do that here in Gaziantep. Now this is what you can see here is the immediate relief and support in Gaziantep in Turkey. Immediate relief and support in Syria. Again, we could purchase clothes for the children. Like we provide electric wheelchairs in addition to manual wheelchairs as well there, and we distributed dry food and hot meals for them for the affected people. Now, who are these affected people? Mainly, they are the people who were living in in some buildings, so they are not in the campsites. You know that there are about 1,000 campsites in northwest Syria, hosting about 1 million people out of the 4 million people in the area. So in northwest Syria, there are about 4 million people. A quarter of them, maybe 1 million of them, are living in campsites. Now, whom like now the one that we are supporting here are the people even who left their buildings, their houses, and went to spaces and empty areas so they can secure some shelter. These people left their houses, so left everything. So we tried also to support them with whatever we could. Again, back to our engineering work. So we could do some emergency, but we want to start our engineering work. Now, this was really, if you can see here the photo where we are insulating the tent. This was one of the results of the Waste for Warmth project that was in partnerships with Engineers Without Borders. On the third day after the earthquake, we received a call from one organization, which were mainly working on providing psychosocial support for people with disabilities, in addition to some in-kind support for this, mainly for the people with disabilities and their families here in Gaziantep in Turkey. They are refugees. Most of them are Syrian refugees, in addition to some of the host community, the Turkish host community. They contacted us. They said, "We know about your project, that you are working for insulating the campsites in Northwest Syria. We moved here from our building, from our community centers, and we established 3 tents because now these people with disabilities are in high need for providing them psychosocial support and some in-kind support. Can you please come and insulate these tents for us? The weather is very cold. We are receiving vulnerable people. So if you can help support us in insulating the tents, that will be like helpful." That was the third day of the earthquake, actually. Directly, our team members like went to our the hub here in Gaziantep. We made the insulation materials and we worked to insulate this for this organization. We insulated 2 of their 3 tents in the third day, and after that, after 1 week, we could insulate also the third one. So these are community centers, like they really appreciate that work. It really made difference, and they could also work for their team members and for the people. They could provide better service. So. Here, if you can see here my screen, it's about the rescue airbag, which we as Field Ready Turkey has developed like 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago. So we developed a rescue airbag that was used after the airstrikes. So whenever there is some airstrike that hits some building, you know that we faced many airstrikes that attacked civilians, buildings, hospitals, and schools. So the building collapsed. And in this case, we innovated this rescue airbag locally, and we could make it so the people can, so the white helmets and the civil defense can use it to raise the debris, to raise this collapsed building a little bit, so they can go and research and secure and rescue people. Then even the heavy machines can come and start rescuing the people. So this is the airbag. Reuters talked about our intervention the first day after the earthquake. Child rescued after massive quake hits Syria and Turkey. Now, this really is like saving lives. It makes you really forget all your efforts, all the tiredness. So, if when you read that child rescued, so you saved life. So you really forget everything around you. This is Reuters talking about it, and Al Jazeera network also in Arabic talking about it, how this innovative solution achieved the MIT award as one of the best 30 humanitarian innovation. I mean, one of the best 30 innovation that help in humanitarian situations. So this is one of our interventions as well during the earthquake. one of the things that we also started working on directly is to do needs assessment for the health facilities in Northwest Syria. Our teams who has experience in working on this, like we implemented two projects before the earthquake, and sorry to make it as a milestone before and after the earthquake. So we have implemented two projects before the earthquake. So as according to our experiences and expertise, we know what is needed in this catastrophe situation. So directly, our teams as well, number of our teams, they and volunteers, they could visit number of the hospitals and health facilities, and they started working on fixing and repairing the medical devices. Now, how we were doing that? We have our maker space in North. We have two maker spaces. One is very simple and one a little bit more advanced. And if I say advanced, like it's according to that context. So we have a small 3D printer. We have small laser cut machine, CNC machine, where we were making spare parts. So imagine that there is one very critical and very important machine that helps hundreds of people is out of service because, for example, it doesn't have the switch button. So you cannot order this switch button because it's already in kind support that came from some country, and it's already maybe it that you cannot that in Northwest Syria you cannot bring this, you cannot order this, you cannot say that I only need this switch button to be, for example, shipped to us. Maybe because they are old enough, maybe because in addition to that, that there are many restrictions for the area. So what we were doing is just to print this. Now, this is very simple and very important thing, but we really could work on many on more complex items. We helped, we again fixed many in baby incubators, like the baby incubators, when they are using them a lot in that context, because of they are already only few items there, only few incubators, so they are using them a lot. So even this door, the incubator door, it becomes broken. They cannot, so they just put this aside because they cannot use it anymore. So we just print the baby incubator door and we fix it. Sometimes as simple as it is. Sometimes, of course, we have more complicated problems. For example, programmatic problems, some things. Our team members are really good researchers, so they do some research even online. We meet with some experts online, and we even engineers without borders were supporting in this. So we take from the expertise externally. We record them and we try and we test that in the field. So we could fix many devices and we could help number of people. Like some of the items that we have fixed are the X-ray machines, the ventilators, patients monitors, and of course others. We focused mainly about the hospitals and health facilities that are supporting the people affected by the earthquake. Of course, why? Because in that area, the response from the organization was a little bit slow, and this actually was published in the news that we didn't know that like UN agencies, international donors are really slow in responding in such critical situations, and that show our flexibility and how agile our response was in collaboration with Engineers Without Borders with the donors support. Now, if you can see my screen here, like the engineering work, the rehabilitation and rebuilding of number of houses. Like we examined these houses. They are what we put the houses in three levels. Some of them are minor, minor affected minor, and the other one is medium affected, and the other one is major affected. So of course, the affected in major way, we didn't recommend in collaboration with the local authorities that the people will not go back to them at all. This was our recommendation, and in collaboration with number of engineers as well and the local authorities. We didn't recommend the people go back at all to these houses. They are really affected, imposed to be destroyed in any second, even with the weak aftershakes, if we can call them. But here, some of the buildings that needed minor and medium rehabilitation, we started working on that. We focused on especially about some families who they don't have actually a household, like they are mainly elderly women together with their children. So they are only so they don't have like young people to help them. They are living alone, so we could focus with this direct intervention about this kind of vulnerability. And here, if you can see now, the provision of safe water and innovative waste recycling. Now here, what we could is to work on a purification water system. Now this actually happened after maybe 1 month after the earthquake. So maybe less, a little bit less, but it was a little bit like after some time that we could take some breath and we could like organize ourselves again. So we started working, like the number of campsites were established, mainly about for the people who left the most affected areas. These campsites were established only because they have this land, this empty land. Of course, they know they follow some HLP procedures, but they couldn't find some the pure water, the drinking water for these people. So the main goal was to find some safer shelter for them. We could we visited these campsites. We saw a number of campsites that have water wells. So we tested the water wells, and we found that these people are drinking um, really polluted water for maybe it was like for more than 1 week. So we tried to work directly and to find some solution. The campsite was established, so no way to change this. The water well is polluted, so we have to find some solution. So our team directly started to work. No electricity power there in that area again, so we had to find some solution. We cannot always like send technicians to check this filtration system to make sure that it's working well or why it's not working. So again, we had to find some solution for this. Our team could work on this water purification system that delivers 1,500 liter of drinking water per hour, was successfully made locally and built in a newly established campsite in northwest Syria, benefiting around 1,200 internally displaced persons from the earthquake affected areas. Now, what we have done is we operated that filtration system using the PV system, the solar system. Of course, we examined how many slides they need, and we put that. And in addition to that, our team innovated some malfunctions diagnosis system that can show which one of these what we call them slides, which one of these has some problem, some issue that it's affecting it, so it's not giving the power. So they put this digital malfunction diagnosis system, and we worked and we operated it. So this is locally made, powered by PV system, and then it's featuring a built-in malfunction diagnosis system. So we call them panels. Thank you, Al-Mutanna. So we call them the panel. The thing, so I will stop here. In case I don't know if one of my colleagues need to add anything here, or I will invite you to watch the video. Is there any critical thing you want to add, colleague Al-Muthanna Aya?
Nothing from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Al-Muthanna. All right, so I will invite you to watch the video, please.
سلامتك يا روح انت. يلا هلا بتنام ان شاء الله هلا
كانت قبل نعبية تطلع لنا مي خضراء من هون من الخزانات كلها وسخة. هلا المي معقمة وكويسة، الله يرزقهم يا رب حسنة الأطفال اللي عنا.
Thank you so much. Back to you. Over to you, Marianne.
Thank you so much, Iman, for a very nice presentation. And it's, I have to say, impressive work that you have been doing under very, very difficult conditions. And what you've been talking about also really highlights the importance of local knowledge and local coordination, and how humanitarian engineering expertise really can contribute to making a difference. So we are done with the formal parts of this webinar. Is there any questions or comments? Then it's open now for that.
Hi, Marianne. I just have a comment. First of all, thank you very much for the presentation and remind us what we can do. But I will also use the opportunity, and I think I have the whole board, and thank you, Marianne and her team, that actually took action immediately and put us in a situation that we really could help. And my second thanks is that the team down in Turkey and Syria really did well. And it's an honor to be a part of an organization that can really help you. So I'm really impressed of what you have done down in Turkey, and also what our operation with Marianne and her team have done. So thank you very much. And the second comment, actually I go on vacation to Istanbul tomorrow, so I will be in Turkey for a few days. Thank you very much.
We're waiting for you again, please.
Thank you, Cordova. I think Raymond has a hand raised.
Yes, Raymond from the IT expert group here. There's a quick question about the scalability of this system. Of course, this this water cleaning system is good, but I think the need is bigger. There are many IDPs in both Syria, Turkey, and also Iraq. Is this something you're continuing to work on, or is this more of a sidetrack for your organization moving forward? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question. I will start maybe with some answer, and maybe Al-Muthanna, if you want also to elaborate. This is really a big need, and it showed like many organizations working on the wash sector. They really thanks us, and they showed that this is really very that it's covering a very high need and very big gap. So it's very big need. It can be scaled either by making more filtration system to put them in the other campsites, which are still, and some of the campsites they come to our campsite. To this campsite that we have supported, and they just take the water, the drinking water. So the need is really big. We can scale this if we got support to make several ones. This is really applicable. And now we have the knowledge. We passed through the prototyping and the design phase. So now we have we know all the challenges, and we know how to solve them. It can be scaled by making new items. It can be scaled also by making bigger items. In addition to that, now we are discussing together with Engineers Without Borders another innovative solutions. So we are working on some we are having some discussion about this. So we are doing now some examinations, some researches, and reaching out to some donors so we can surf and look for new interventions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Al-Muthanna, do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, maybe I can add 2 points. In addition to what you have added. Before that, I would like to thank Carl, and it's nice to see you again here. And we'll be, very happy to see you again here in Gaziantep. Okay, so regarding the question, yeah, of course, there's really a big needs for the water purification system. Especially if we talk about the level of water that is in the water well, it's still dropping down and down, and there's the new water well. This is the one. And second, the overusage of purification system. Some organization and some people are using some purification system, and this purification system has been used for a long time, and this is also another problem. And also we need a novel and a new type of purification system that can last for a long time and can purify the water according to the standard of Severe. This is another point. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And as Imad said, we are sort of we are hoping to be able to do a lot more on that subject. It also depends on funding, obviously, but we do believe it's both scalable and replicable. Anders, I think your hand was up next.
Yeah, hello. Thank you, Emad, for the great presentation. I just have a question regarding the insulating of the buildings. As I worked on the waste warm project and the test here in Norway, I just wanted to have a brief comment on what were your experience. Did you have issues with condensation, and did it yield energy saving results for you? Thank you.
Thank you so much for this question. And again, if I can pass it to Engineer Al-Muthanna, he has very good records here. Al-Muthanna, please.
Yeah, so according to my understanding, Anders may be asking about the outcome of the installation panel after we installed them. Yeah, so yes, last year after we installed this panel inside some tents, we started getting some temperature readings from this tent. One from the insulated tent and one from a non-insulated tent and one from the outdoor temperature. So we compared the two temperatures reading, we found really very considerable, temperature difference between the non-insulated and the insulated. It reached around 11.3 degree temperature difference. Like the panel proved to keep the indoor temperature cooler during, the hot weather, and warmer during the cold weather.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. There is another person, like the name is in Arabic.
Yeah, it
so
says meeting
Dr.
guest. So
Dr. Man. Please.
Yes. Sorry, I couldn't change my name after the meeting started. So my name is Mine, I think, from good organization. First, thanks for the invitation, the great presentation. My comment is in general about emergency response. As Imad said, field ready is specialized in relief and short-term response. Is not specialized in relief and short-term response. But also we saw how long-term innovations projects like the below helped a lot in responding to the earthquake. So I think we should keep working on long-term solutions, innovation solutions, in order to be field ready, really, to humanitarian crisis in two levels, maybe the first level, patent tools and labs. In addition to the core assets of innovation, the people skills and mindset. So we should be ready in both two levels in order to be ready for any crisis. History is drawn by what we call them unexpected crises, but the future and history is only drawn by crisis. So in order to be ready for this crisis, we should be ready in labs, tools, in addition to people skills. So I encourage to keep working, encourage my friends in field ready to keep working on both two great projects. And thank you very much for the impactful and inspired presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Man. Thank you.
No, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. Thank you for that comment. Is there anyone else who have any questions or comments? I can't see any raised hands anymore. No. Then I think we will leave it at that. Again, thank you so much, Imad and Anatana and Aya. Very good to see you again, always. And thank you to everyone who's attended to listen today. And I wish you all a very nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.